Hey everybody, how you doing? Manitoba Hal here. I'm sitting here today with my double neck ukulele. This was made by Fred Casey in Winnipeg Beach, Manitoba. And it is a tenor ukulele on the bottom and a concert ukulele on the top. Now, of course, what you just heard was not a tenor sound. Tenor would be closer to this, wouldn't it? Except for that note would be low. So what's up? What gives? Well, what I've done is I've tuned my tenor ukulele to a baritone tuning. Now, I want to tell you, there's a funny story, or I think it's funny, but you know, this is the ukulele world being so small. I decided to do this video last week. I did all my research. I got all ready to shoot it for this time last week. And I promptly sprained my ankle the morning of the shoot, and I'd been off on my feet for a week. Now, thank you for your concerns. I'm sure you're all worried if I'm okay. I'm healing up great. It's no problem. But it put me behind a week. But what happened in the meantime is Christopher Davis Shannon put out a great video about tuning a soprano ukulele. This is a concert, but a small ukulele to baritone tuning. And he has a great theory on how to pull it off, changing individual strings. And the next day, Phil Dolman, who is another great performer, and I'll put links to both of these videos in my description, put out a video of him performing a blues tune on his concert ukulele tuned to baritone tuning. And I think it's hysterical that we're all in the same place, but mentally. But this is where it comes from, I guess, the ukulele world. One thing that they did differently than I is they both went for the re-entrant tuning of the ukulele, but dropped to baritone tuning. I'm using the linear tuning, so you're getting a slightly different tone. Now, let me explain the process so that you understand it, because this is the kind of thing you can do yourself. You can experiment with different tunings and different ways with any scale length of instrument. It's just a matter of understanding a couple of terms. First off, scale length. This is an important one for anyone who hasn't considered. Scale length is the distance between the bridge and the nut. This is the scale length. So if somebody says their ukulele is 21 inches, what they're talking about is probably total length, not scale length. A soprano ukulele, for example, would be described as 21 inches long, but it's actually a 13-inch scale length, 13 inches from here to here. A concert, which is this one, is 15 inches from here to here. A tenor is 17 inches from the saddle to the nut, the bridge to the nut. And a baritone ukulele is 19 inches. Now, this, of course, matters because that length, translates with the thickness of string to tension on the neck of the instrument. And at length, when you're looking at a tenor ukulele at 17 inches tuned up to pitch, there is 44.3 pounds of tension across the strings. A baritone uke, for conversely, at length, with the thickness of strings uses, is only 37.6 pounds of tension. And I didn't calculate a soprano ukulele, but it's probably somewhere close to that 40 number as well. The reason this matters is you want to match the tension across the strings, and you want to match the evenness of the distribution. Like, you don't want to have a really fat string here and then a really thin string here. You want the strings to feel like normal ukulele strings as you're playing them, so that your fingers can adjust and your spacings can be used the way you're used to them. Now, here's how I figured out the tuning. And again, those other videos, there's a different process. I'm not trying to say my way is the best way. I'm trying to say that there are many paths here, and this is the path I found. Using a string calculator at D'Addario.com, which is, of course, a string manufacturing company, I calculated the tensions across all the strings. I've given you those numbers, and to find out what the tension was on my tenor ukulele neck. And then I looked at classical guitar strings. And the reason I did that is the baritone ukulele tuning is D, G, B, E. That's D for your low note, G, B, and E. And those are the same as the top 4 strings of a guitar. But in order for a guitar to reach that tension, it's at scale length of 25.5 for the classical guitar strings to reach that tension, that pitch. So if I tuned them, if I put those DGBE from a classical guitar set on my ukulele at 17 inches and tuned it to DGBE, they would be very floppy. They would, it would be like rubber bands. It would not, I don't think it would sound good. But what I realized is the middle 4 strings of a guitar set, A, D, G, B, so a guitar is tuned E, A, D, G, B, as you see here. The middle 4 strings could be tuned up because of the lower scale length. And that means that even though their tension would be increasing to go up, so from A to D would make that string tighter, it's over a shorter length, which will lower the pounds of tension on that string. So if you take the A string of a classical guitar set and you put it in that 4th position on your ukulele neck and you tune it up to D, you got your low note. If you take the D set of a classical guitar string, put it in that 3rd position and tune it up to G. You take a G string from a classical guitar set, put it in your 2nd position, tune it up to B. And take the B string from a classical guitar set and put it in that 1st position, tune it up to E. You end up with that baritone ukulele tuning on a shorter scale instrument. Now, what's important to note is that while a classical guitar set fully, all 6 strings at tension at 25.6 inches in scale length, it's 89.9 pounds. But by reducing the tension to 17 inches and removing 2 strings, your tension falls to 39.2 pounds, which means that my uke can more than sustain that tension at this length. So it won't buckle, it won't pull the top or anything like that. And that's an important thing, right? You want it to feel good. You want your uke to survive, even though you lowered the tuning. Now, this presents 2 questions, maybe more than 2, but at least 2. The first one is, does this work with soprano and concert ukes? Obviously, Christopher Davis Shannon did it. Phil Dolman has done it. There are ukulele string sets that somebody has packaged. I think Living Waters has packaged to achieve a baritone tuning on a short scale instrument. Yes, it works. It's a question of whether you like it or want it, and that's something that's completely subjective. You may need to adjust the thickness or the slots in your nut to accommodate the thicker strings, but you can do it. The other question is when the tension is lowered. So for example, I mentioned on a tenor ukulele, standard tension is 44.3 pounds. When you lower the tension like I have with this, these strings will not move the top as much as the higher tension strings normally would, which will result in a slightly quieter uke. But that may not be a problem, but it's something to be aware of. And you may not like the pitch, the sound at the new pitch. Let me say that differently. You may not like the sound of your ukulele at that new pitch. I remember years ago when I got my first Martin ukulele, it's a 1955 Martin style 2. It came tuned to the D6 tuning, which is A, D, F sharp, B. And I played it for years like that. And then I adopted the C tuning, which is, G, C, E, A, the one we all use now. And immediately that uke sounded a little duller. And part of it was that lower tension of the strings not moving the top as much. And since these instruments are this balancing act between tension and a luthier explained it to be exploding because you're pulling on the top this way, the braces underneath is resisting that, and you're putting the top under tension so that when you move it, it vibrates and creates the sound. You want to push this instrument almost to the point of blowing up, but still being stable. At least that's what he said. Anyway, have some fun with it. See what you think, and let me know what you think of those other videos as well. And I'll leave you with a little bit of I Was Born with the Blues. Now from my childhood to where I am now, I ain't gonna worry. I get by somehow. My mama had 'em, oh, my daddy had 'em too. I was born with the blues. Now let me tell you something. You know it ain't no joke. Wouldn't trade my past life for my weight in gold. My mama had 'em, oh, my daddy had 'em too. I was born with the blues. I use a guitar for my pillow, and a hollow log would be my bed. Oh, and blues my only companion. Have to sing the blues for my meat and bread. Want you to know I began to roam, and I'm a vagabond traveling far from home. I ain't ashamed, Lord, ain't that news? I was born with the blues. You guys have yourself a good day, and I'll see you soon.